You have a lot to say, and I think that we were talking about this earlier. I feel like sometimes people come to their own conclusions without really knowing what you're trying to get at. And
Well, I just lied about everything because I mean, as you know, all men are liars. Like any creature born with testicles is a born liar. But
I've heard something like that.
now, I may have 4 testicles, but I may be lying.
Let's get back to Type O Negative for a second. Getting a little sidetracked. So Type O Negative, there's a new record coming out in March. There's a DVD out, Symphony for the Devil, play on the Stones.
Absolutely.
And I want to just talk about the business side for a second. For the first time, you guys have changed labels to SPV.
SPVs?
Oh my God. To SPV. And I was wondering if you can talk about maybe why and how that all went down.
I happen to be the fortunate person who has been signed to Roadrunner Records the longest because Carnivore was signed, I believe, back in '83 or '84. When Carnivore broke up, Road Racer, Roadrunner, whatever they have this combination thing. So I just go back and forth. They have two different names for a while. Roadrunner, let's call it. Refused to release me from my contract because I was the songwriter for Carnivore. So when Type O Negative was formulated, I believe it was on August 28th of 1989, we recorded a demo, which were actually a bunch of leftover Carnivore songs. And that's why Slow, Deep, and Hard is radically different than Bloody Kisses. Anyway, so what had happened was we began to solicit other record labels. And once Roadrunner got wind of the fact that we were looking for other opportunities, they faxed, well, back in that day, they faxed everybody, all these other labels saying that, you have to cease and desist or else there's going to be lawsuits involved because Peter Steele is still signed. So even before, the plague, even before Type O Negative was formed, Type O Negative was signed to Roadrunner, and they bound us to contract.
Wow, that's complicated.
So what was your question originally? I'm kind of...
The move to SPV.
SPV. Okay, so just want to say that, I was signed personally to Roadrunner Records for 19 years. People murder their whole families and get out of jail sooner than I got off this contract. So...
I think that you kind of helped to put that label on the map.
I believe we gave them their first gold album, but I'm not sure. Roadrunner has always treated Type O Negative, very well, but essentially it comes down to business. I consider the president of the label, his name in Dutch is Kees Vessels, to be a friend of mine, but there were issues that we did not agree upon from a business point of view. But fortunately, I can most of the time separate business from social relationships. And when our contract expired, collectively, Type O felt like that we could explore more options that were more potentially viable, for the band. So, kind of like no hard feelings, but after 16 years, Type O has been together since '89, like I said, and we signed with SPV a couple of years ago. After 15, 16 years, it was time for a change, time to move on. And so far, SPV has been, really good. It's refreshing to work with new people and people who have a different attitude towards how the whole machine works. So, I hope for the best, but I expect the worst.